everybody. This week on Up Your Alley, we've got two great recommendations for you. First, Jake's recommendation for me, the new indie game Blueprints, an early frontrunner for Game of the Year. And my recommendation for Jake, week 3 of All Affleck April, the 2002 film Changing Lanes. We got some video game news. I've got some gripes with the Commonwealth of Virginia. Jake, you got anything else to add?
Nah.
All right, let's do the music.
Theme song video.
What do you mean?
Like a theme.
Like a music video for this song?
Yeah.
That song's by our friends Brother Bill. You can check them out at brotherbill.bandcamp.com. Welcome everybody to the show. It is called Up Your Alley. My name is Taylor, and with me as always is my best friend Jake Baggett. Say hi, Jake.
Hey, buddy.
If it's your first time listening to the show, be sure to like and subscribe and do all that good algorithm stuff. Here's how it works. We're two best friends. We've been friends for 20-ish years. And like all friends, we recommend things to each other.
30 years.
No.
Yeah.
I lived in Florida 30 years ago.
16?
I would say 20 years.
I would say 30 years, buddy. I've known you when you could drive.
How old do you think we are?
We were in middle school.
Right. How old do you think we are? We are in our 30s.
We're 36.
Yes.
Dude, I've wasted all my math on Blueprints, dude.
Blueprints has taken a lot of my brain space. I cannot wait to talk to you about the game. So much so that I'm going to talk about All Affleck April first before we get into Blueprints, which I have to have a lot to say about one of Jake's recs during April to put it before the April invitation.
His favorite moment, his favorite month.
It's my favorite month of the podcast. This is the 3rd annual All Affleck April where I make Jake watch Ben Affleck things. And we're talking about Changing Lanes, a great and I think underseen film. Great performances by the leads, Ben Affleck and Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, how you been?
Dude, everything's A-okay.
Things good?
No complaints.
Easter week?
I'd have to say. I was sick this week. I do have a complaint.
That's one complaint.
One complaint for you, buddy.
You know, I haven't been sick since I got COVID in 2022.
What?
Yeah.
I used to not get sick when I was younger, and then I got fat and stupid, and now I'm getting sick whenever I lick a dirty faucet or something.
Well, just don't do that. That's probably number one.
Yeah, but it's not. I'm not going to change my lifestyle.
All right. You know, you did your own research, and faucet licking's not the problem.
I mean, it's not the problem. The problem, the problem is the access to.
Fair enough. Free access to faucets is going to be your downfall. Yeah. No, I haven't been getting sick much. I've been doing all right. I think I've kind of settled into just being like mildly injured all of the time instead of feeling great and then feeling like crap.
Okay.
Just every day is just kind of like,
You just took a debuff.
Yeah, exactly. I lowered the resolution on the game, so it runs smoothly. There's no lags, but it just
doesn't look as good.
It's not as good looking as it could be. I'm not streaming in 4K anymore. It's 720. You can see what's going on.
Yeah. I'm not complaining.
No, it's fine. That's such a sad metaphor, but it's so accurate.
It's great
for what we're doing. So yeah, I have, speaking of how the life's been going, I mentioned this to you briefly before, gripe with the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Yeah, you told me about that.
And I've made my gripes about politics pretty clear on this show in the past. I feel like I'm a pretty average dude. Straight white guy in your 30s, leans left. There's a billion of us. Like, we're all over the place. So one of the left-leaning white guy things that I did last year is I got myself a new car, the hybrid.
Oh.
Corolla Cross. Hybrid, all-wheel drive. Love it. It's my first hybrid that I've ever had.
Yeah.
Went to renew it because the tags are up. Had it for almost a year now. And go to the Virginia DMV website. You sign up and you have to renew your tags. It's like $35 a year. Small pain in the ass, but it's whatever. And then I had to pay a $55. It just said $55 HUF. And I'm like, what's that? And it had a little like question mark next to it where you can click.
Yeah.
For, I'm sure everyone would be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, you're charging me more.
This was passed in 2020, and I had no idea about it. A highway usage fee.
So for hybrid cars?
For hybrid and electric cars, we have to pay extra money because, and this is their legit justification on their website, the Commonwealth is missing out on revenue due to us paying less for gas and them not collecting as much gas tax because we have hybrids.
Holy.
So we have to pay an extra fee
Man.
because we found a way around taxes. And I was just like, there's a glut of talk in the news of people finding a way to get around taxes.
Yeah.
In smart ways of, putting an LLC in your kid's name or like claiming
Smart
gains.
ways.
Having an AI company buy your other social media company that's failing so you can change the valuation and all of a sudden you get an extra $100 billion of fake money. These are things that happen. But so there's a way they can get money if they feel like they're missing out on money. I'm buying less gas. So they're like, you have to pay
money. Yeah.
Right. And it's $55. Grand scheme of things, compared to my last car, I'm making that. I'm still making money.
Yeah, you're still saving on gas.
It cost me $22 to fill up my tank.
It's still
and I fill up once a week.
Silly.
But I'm saying I don't mind paying my fair share.
Yeah.
I never have. I never will.
Yeah.
I have. We live in a great area. I don't mind paying taxes.
Yeah, Virginia's great.
I don't like getting nickel and dimed for
absolutely
anything.
That's the thing that pops my top.
If you tell me a cheeseburger and french fries is $22, I'm like, done.
Yeah.
I know how much things cost. I know you're making a healthy profit on that. I know you have other bills to pay. That's fine. But then if you say it's 35 cents for extra ketchup, I'm like, why? You could have charged me an extra $1 for the burger and then given me all the ketchup I wanted, and I would have been fine with it.
Yeah.
But I hate getting nickel and dime.
Yeah.
So now, since I had to pay that $55 fee, and today I had to go up to Northern Virginia to get just some stuff that you can't get in town. And that sounded like Oregon Trail. It's not. I just had to drive 20 minutes north. And there's so much construction going on everywhere now that the weather's broken.
Yeah.
And I would see guys like just sitting, like not doing anything. And normally I'm like, union job. He's getting paid. Good for him. Now that I'm paying a highway usage fee, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I paid $55, and now these guys have the whole lane shut down. Nothing's even happening.
I'm just watching them on their cell phone,
and you're not even on your lunch break. It's 9:30. You should be working right now.
Good for them.
No, not with my money. I paid $55, so now I'm a co-owner of this highway.
Doug heard me yell, and he's worried.
Right, and granted, that $55 pays for like two guys' salary. Hopefully, it only pays for two guys' salary for an hour. But still, I have that chip on my shoulder now, and I was not informed of this when I bought the hybrid.
Yeah, when you just see a surprise fee, it's like
it was just like,
gosh darn it.
It was a couple layers of things that irritate me: getting nickel and dimed, and finding out the government has the capacity to fix a problem, which is not collecting enough tax revenue, very easily, in a way that I don't even remember them passing this law.
Yeah.
They passed it in 2020 when no one was really driving because it was like...
Yeah, that's why they did it, because you weren't paying attention.
Right. Freaking government, man. Yeah. Sneaking things in there.
Yeah.
But,
you always got to keep them on check. Got to keep them on the back foot.
I guess.
Always.
I used to pay attention, and I would we had a buddy that would know all the local stuff, and he'd be like, well, did you hear what this state senator would be doing, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, he knew names.
Everything.
Yeah.
And if I was talking to him in 2020, he'd be like, you better not buy a hybrid. They're trying to get you an extra $55.
That's what happened. We lost contact with him for a little while. We just lost contact with all of this.
Honestly, at that point, I was driving...
He'd give you with stuff with like, you don't know the treasurer of your...
Wait. What are your feelings on the race for comptroller? And you're like, I don't know what that job does. So I don't care.
He was like, he was your high school teacher, man. I don't remember that.
Regardless, I feel like even if I had known about this law in 2020, which there's a solid chance that I had heard about it, at least on the news, driving around or something. But at that point, I was driving my Subaru that got horrible gas mileage because it was like all-wheel drive and everything. Mm-hmm. So I'd probably like, oh, it only affects hybrids? I don't care. I'll vote for that. I probably voted for this tax thinking I'd never get a hybrid. Yeah. But now I have one. It's coming back to bite me right in the ass.
Yeah, there you go.
God damn it.
Don't have to go to the gas station that often, though.
No, and it's got an 8.5 gallon tank, and it's all-wheel drive. I'm very happy with the workmanship on the...
smaller tank, huh?
8.5 gallon tank. Still get about 375...
I prefer the same size tank so that I could last longer.
Can't do it in this car because it's all-wheel drive, so it's got the extra drive axle in the back.
Okay.
Also, the battery's in the back of the car.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll jump in the trunk.
Well, I found that out when I was trying to jump start the truck with my car.
And they were like, you had to go into the...
No,
boot,
I popped,
as they say.
I popped the hood, the bonnet, as they would say, and I was looking at it. I'm like, now I know what a car battery looks like.
Yeah,
and I'm 90% sure there's not one here.
Look for that red cap,
but also
the red cap in here.
I know this is a hybrid, so I feel like there should be a battery somewhere. Because cars that aren't hybrids have batteries.
This is a battery on wheels.
Yeah, it's in the trunk. It's very strange.
Very strange.
What else were we going to talk about? You were talking about Elder Scrolls.
I was talking about. Oh, sure. I was
Oblivion.
talking about Elder Scrolls.
You talk about that. I can hear you. I'm going to let the dog out. He's
So, did you ever play Oblivion?
no, just Skyrim.
Okay, so Oblivion wasn't my first one. Morrowind was my first one, but Oblivion was the one that I put the most time into, and they're remaking it. I'm looking forward to that. One thing that was really weird that they said was it's going to have a shield mechanic similar to a Souls-like game, and I don't know what that means, because if I recall, in Oblivion, your shield had condition to it, so that it's like 100%. It does 100%
Against magic or something
it gets
like
hit.
that?
It goes 98%.
Oh, okay. So it's more like Tears of the Kingdom.
So what I think they're going to do is just be like, this does 80% coverage, because I remember that in Skyrim, where you get hit. Well, not in Skyrim, in Dark Souls. If you have an 80% shield, it takes 80% of the damage. You take 20%.
Yeah.
So I guess they're going to try that. What I do want in my RPGs now is when a thing is in perfect condition, when they're selling it to me, I want to be able to have an inspection check so that I could see if they're trying to lie to me. It'll be like, buy this shield. This is a great shield. It's in perfect condition. And you do the inspect, and you're like, that's a shitty shield.
Why is the president in your RPG there?
Was that a present?
It was a little bit. It's like, it's a great shield. It's in perfect condition.
Oh.
You've never seen a better
That's
shield.
just anybody
than
who's
this.
a hyperbolic now.
Hyperbolic
it's because
swindler? Yeah.
He's so cartoonish. It's impossible to not do him.
Yeah.
But I think that would be fun.
You had to
But
pay
they
an
don't
extra
do that.
$55 in the Commonwealth if you drive a Tesla.
But
It's a pain in the ass.
that got him. Yeah,
That'll get 'em.
Now they're mad. I'm looking forward to it. I want to play it. They have to keep the AI stupid though.
I know you love the AI. We've
That's
talked
very
about the
important.
AI.
Yeah.
I know it's very important to you.
It's very important to me.
Well,
but
speaking
it is
of-
cool that they did announce it.
Speaking of RPG updates, the last update finally came. Well, they're not saying it's the last one, but it's rumored to be the last update.
They did say it was the last one, didn't they?
Yeah, but they don't trust people like that.
I do, because Hasbro told them, Larian Studios, you
Or it's
ain't gonna...
something like it's the last major update, but they're still going to be looking
Yeah,
at
they're
to
gonna
fix
do-
bugs and
Yeah,
stuff like
sure.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
But for Baldur's Gate 3, a game that was your game of the
Content
year.
patch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
12 new classes. Every class gets a subclass, something like that. I had mentioned this to you a couple weeks ago. I don't know if it was on the pod or just in real life, but it's on sale now.
Yeah.
And I played a 2-hour demo, however long the demo that I got you, and I liked it.
Yeah.
But I think I might, now that the final patch is out, it might be a good time for me to be like, oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
we're just going to do this. But also next week, Indiana Jones comes out.
Oh, yeah. That is a problem, huh?
Yeah.
And I'm stuck in Blueprints, man.
Yeah?
I haven't gotten resolution out of that game yet. So
It's a fun game. Yeah, but
I'll
that's
be
not going to...
trucking along on that bad boy.
I feel like Baldur's Gate's something you could put like 100 hours into
Oh, yeah. Easily.
easily.
Yeah. And what I'm reading, Blueprints, you can beat in 25 hours. That's
Yeah,
on
that's...
average.
Do you ever go to the website, the how long to beat, whatever it is?
Not really.
I went there for the last game that you recommended, the Beginner's Guide.
Yeah.
And it said 2 hours, and I beat it in an hour and a half. And I was like, I just speed ran that game that doesn't have any real way to speed run it.
Yeah. You missed all the collectibles.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think I'll probably get into Baldur's Gate. I mean,
Go for it.
eventually.
Let's play together. I want to make a halfling that's
What you got it
a
on?
drunken monk.
What you got on?
I got it on Steam and I got it on PlayStation.
Because they're saying you can get it cross-platform now.
So we could play it whenever.
We still got to do speaking of playing games together, we still got to do that Laser Hell level in Split Fiction.
And we got to play A Way Out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did have that downloaded too. I think I deleted that off my hard drive to make room for...
Blueprints.
No, Fortnite again.
Fortnite again.
Every now and again, Fortnite comes out with something, and it's like...
It's the Sabrina Carpenter skin.
First of all, love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also, they're like, hey, you want to... Like, last month, for their Battle Pass or whatever, it pops up, just on, like, news for games that you play. It's like, oh, you can get shoes now, and it has, like, all these Air Jordans. And I'm like, oh, who's paying money for Air Jordans? And then this month, they're like, we have Vans. And I'm like the checkered Vans? I'm like, yeah, and I go into it. I'm like, oh, cool.
Vans?
You get little checkered Vans.
Yeah.
You look like you're a ska kid running around Fortnite.
Thanks for Warp Tour.
And
Vans.
I played 2 rounds of Fortnite, and then I was just like, and I'm good.
Yeah.
But every now and again, I just have to download it because it's a huge file. It's like 116 gigs
Yeah.
for that crazy game.
They
Making
want you
all
to-
the money.
They want it to be the only game that you play.
I mean, they're kind of leaning towards it. Yeah. And they've got the Lego sim now and
They
everything
got
else.
the Rock Band style
Did you
play in there.
Speaking of dumb games, did you ever end up going see Minecraft with your cousins?
No.
Or niece and nephew?
No.
Still hiding in there. Like, people are still going to see that movie.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on board, still not going to go see it. But
I'm fine with the kids having a fun time with the chicken jockey, but then somebody brought up, it's like they're doing it for views on their like Instagram and stuff, and I was like, yeah, it's not the same as like just being there with your friends and having a, because that's what hit me in my head.
Because it's a fine line from that and then going up and like punching someone in the head in a Walmart to get
I don't
views on
believe
TikTok.
that, but yeah, it's more making attention to yourself rather than like having a good time. Me and my friends, we like to get rowdy and stuff during silly things, just because it's fun, not because we're like, like and subscribe. By the way, like and subscribe.
I already
really
said it
help us
earlier,
out.
but it always helps to.
You didn't say that earlier.
Yeah, I did.
Well, guess what?
You want to play the tape?
Like and subscribe, okay?
Let's play the tape real quick.
I ain't right back, you little shit!
It's April. I got to get some new drops. Actually, I found a couple of drops I'm going to add for next week.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. But speaking of All Affleck April, let's get into our first recommendation.
Okay.
The third week, week 1, we did The Town. This is for All Action, All Affleck April. Last week we did Triple Frontier. This week we did Changing Lanes. I always try to pick one from this era of Affleck.
Yep.
Because I feel like this movie came out in 2002, and it's kind of the doldrums of the Affleck, because he started out hot, Chasing Amy, Good Will Hunting, like he was out the gate like, oh, he's Hollywood's new it guy.
Yeah.
And then when we got to more like Gone Baby Gone and Argo, and when he started directing, then people were like, oh, he's elder statesman of Hollywood. But he had this weird middle ground in the middle 2000s where everyone's like, what's like, that's when you had your Forces of Nature, your Phantoms, Boiler Room, this movie, Daredevil, Armageddon, Pearl Harbor. That's when people kind of started to poke fun at Affleck.
This is what I was growing up with, watching Ben Affleck.
And you're like, oh, fuck this guy.
I don't want to watch any of these movies.
Like, I am not making you watch Armageddon. I feel like you've already seen it.
I still miss you, baby. I want that song in Lord of the Rings because it's Steven Tyler that sings it. I was hoping that he was
to Liv Tyler.
He was on set all the time trying to sell it to Peter Jackson. He was like, I still miss you, Frodo. Yeah, right?
So dumb. But yeah, this era of Affleck, I feel like there are some gems in there. Some ones we've pointed out. The director's cut of Daredevil. Great.
Yeah. Really good.
Reindeer Games, better than most people think it is.
Yeah, I had a great time with it.
Phantoms, Payback.
Phantoms is an incredible movie.
Or Paycheck.
Great.
Paycheck, not Payback.
Paycheck is so much fun.
Yeah.
Great movie.
So there are these ones. And
I think it was Paycheck that probably broke me at that point, where I was like, I'm in.
Because you watched...
When you offered Changing Lanes, I remember watching...
This trailer. I remember seeing this trailer in front of like movies on Blockbuster.
I remember Ben Affleck in the car and Samuel L. Jackson's next to him in another car, and he shows him the tire.
Yeah, the tire iron.
And then Ben Affleck crashes, and I'm like, that looks so dumb. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
So this trailer isn't good. It came out in I was watching this Instagram reel popped up, and it was from like this 2004 or 2000 this era, and it was just like a list of like what are the best, like the top 10 on TRL this date. Like that's the whole account, is like they'll show you what the top 10 on TRL was that day. It's a good engagement, and you sit there and watch it for a minute. I mean, they're making money off of it. But all the music videos looked kind of shitty. And they all kind of looked the same. And movie trailers were like that too, because like a music video is like a trailer to get you to go buy the album. The movie trailer is to get you to go see the movie.
Buy the album.
Yeah, buy the album. There were some good albums off a movie. The Daredevil album was a lot of Evanescence, but it had Rob Zombie on there too, and it was pretty good. Regardless, a lot of those trailers are the same. Like it was a hacky stand-up comedy premise too. Like Pablo Francisco had bits where he would just do that movie voice, the in a world, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So the trailer didn't do it any justice. And there's actually, I forget which interview it was that I read. I think it might have been the director, Robert Mitchell. Yeah. He said that he didn't like the trailer because the trailer tried to portray it as a high octane action movie.
Yeah.
He's like, it's not that. It's like a pretty slow paced revenge movie.
It's very funny you put this in All Affleck April.
Yeah.
All action. But this movie was a breath of fresh air.
Really?
For movies that I've been watching.
Huh.
You know, this movie, like we talked about the trailer being bad, and I thought that moment was dumb, and it is dumb, but on purpose because these are both very dumb people.
Yes.
And we're following them.
Two morons
Just following their gut instinct to get one over
base
on
level
somebody that
animalistic nonsense.
hurt
And it all
them.
happens over the course of one day. So
Yeah.
here's
This
how
movie-
here's the
Go ahead.
Here's the crux of the movie. If you haven't seen it, it's available to stream. Where are we streaming it? Prime? No, I bought you a
You
DVD.
bought me a DVD. Blu-ray.
But it is available on Prime.
Our brains are working at the same
That's what we do.
bandwidth right now.
Simpatico, 720p. That's what we're running. So Ben Affleck is a big time lawyer guy in New York City, baby. And Samuel L. Jackson's dad works in insurance. Starts out the day, they're both have things they have to do. Ben Affleck has to get to
Ben
court.
Affleck got a big case to get to.
He's got a big case. It's Friday, a big case on a Friday.
Yep, Sam
it's
Jackson's
also,
got a big case to get to himself.
did you catch what day this all takes place on?
Subway Saturday.
Nope, Good Friday. The Friday before Easter, which is also the day this podcast comes out.
Ooh.
Just goes to show how much time and effort.
Good Friday, more like good timing, Taylor.
I put a lot of thought into All Affleck April. I saved it. I was going to have this as the first one, but I'm like,
okay.
Oh, wait, no. Changing Lanes takes place on Good Friday, and we have an episode coming out on Good Friday. And that's why when you mentioned, you were like, a couple weeks ago, you're like, hey, maybe we could change the podcast upload date to Monday, which I'm fine with if I didn't already have this planned. So in May, spoilers, we might switch it to Monday. We're not sure now, but I needed to get through April on Fridays.
Yeah.
I had plans. So Ben Affleck has to get to court. Sam Jackson has to get to court because he's got a custody thing. He's doing that thing where you're going over your speech to
He
yourself.
wants his dad. He wants his kids.
Want to see my damn kids.
Yes.
His wife's trying to take his kids, move across the country.
And he is busy taking notes while driving.
And he's starting.
Also with a number 2 pencil and a big legal pad. He's writing down words like, kids deserve a father.
Right. It's like me playing Blueprints with a whole bunch of scrambling notes all over.
I'm just writing down my Blueprints notes. Forward is north. I'm like, I want to come back to that.
Good. Mark that down. I can't wait to talk about Blueprints. But he goes and he's seeing a house, and then he goes to an AA meeting, and then he's got to go.
A really nice speech from both of them at the same time.
Oh yeah. Affleck.
Ben Affleck is doing a speech about the house.
He's at
about this center that was donated by his client in his
is
lifetime
to give kids piano lessons and his arts.
And he's talking about how his relationship with money grew from his client because he was like, I want $1,000 for a playground, and this client said, how about $10,000
For 10 playgrounds.
for 10 playgrounds.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, so he's like, he's seeing philanthropy and stuff. And then you go to Samuel L. Jackson at his AA meeting, and he's talking about, I wanted to drink a champagne today. I just closed on a house.
Right.
And he's like, but for celebrations, and I just reminded myself that I am the champagne.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a really good way to think
It's
of
a
yourself as
well-written
well.
movie. Like it's a good movie. So at the same time, side note about that, Ben Affleck, it's a kids orchestra that's there, and they're playing Ode to Joy, and it's just off enough that it sounds like a kid's band. I really appreciate that because as a
That's
former
good attention to detail.
as a former band kid myself, kids those age, they were about probably middle schoolers. It wouldn't sound perfect, but it wouldn't sound like the jokey opening to The Simpsons where everyone sounds terrible.
Yeah.
But like it's just off enough to where I'm like, that's a believable.
They probably got some real ass middle schoolers in there.
And also, Ode to Joy's not that fucking hard. Like, come on, you're not playing it.
You can count. It's 3, 3, 3,
Yeah.
2, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1.
Exactly. Moving forward. So they both got to get to their big thing, and they get in a little fender bender.
Yep.
On the FDR, the highway
Somebody
that
was
goes
trying
along
to
New
get
York
out
City.
of the exit, and somebody missed the exit.
They were messing up because they were changing lanes.
Yes.
Title of the film.
And it works in a metaphor as well.
It does. This movie's got fucking levels.
This movie's got layers to it, man.
So it happens. Ben Affleck, he's the rich guy. Samuel L. Jackson driving a busted car. Ben Affleck's in the thing, and Samuel Jackson's just like, give me your insurance. And he's like, I can't. I got to go.
Yeah. He's like, I got to go. I am late to
He's
this
like,
thing.
best of luck. I got to go.
Yeah. Better luck next time.
Better luck next time. And then he drives off. But he drops a folder. You see a big red folder. And Samuel Jackson picks up the folder. Ben Affleck goes to his court case. Everything's going well. It's a conservatorship, trusteeship that his law firm's taking over all this guy's money. That guy's granddaughter, he's dead. He's dead. His granddaughter's like, you took my grandfather's money. You know, you made him sign something when he
really
couldn't.
good scene because it did feel like Ben Affleck was like utterly confused.
Yeah.
Because he was like,
It lets you know there's something going on beneath the surface in this court case.
Because she's at the speech before the court.
Yeah.
And he's trying to catch up to her, being like, hey, why?
Hey, we used to be friends. What's going on?
Why aren't you saying hi to me or anything? He's like, what are you doing? You're taking all the money. And she tells him to his face, what happened to you?
Yeah.
And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I don't know what's this animosity that's coming to me.
You married Amanda Peet and got all weird.
Believed him, you know?
So, and then Samuel Jackson misses his court date. The judge is like, you were 20 minutes late.
Yep. Kids are gone, buddy.
Your wife's taking the kids to Oregon.
Yep.
And loses shit. Ben Affleck sees him walking down the street. He's like, hey, you have my paper. And Samuel Jackson's like, he's like, what do you want, man? I'll get you anything. He's like, I want my morning back.
Yeah. I want my 20 minutes back.
Yeah. Can you give me time? And it's just great, angry. Yeah. Samuel Jackson has this amazing ability to scream things that no other person can say and somehow make it so convincing.
It sounds like he wants to blow his top, you know, but he's just right there. He's bubbling on the edge.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, you said better luck next time.
Yeah.
And I was like, it sounds like he's about to start stabbing you.
Yeah.
This is good shit.
So not only is it this era of Affleck, that performance is, outstanding for that level of Affleck. And in this film, he's great as that character. This is a great Samuel L. Jackson performance too.
Absolutely.
But I feel it doesn't get talked. Like when people talk about Samuel L. Jackson, they talk about your Pulp Fictions, all the other Tarantino stuff that he's great in. Mace Windu, obviously. Your M. Night Shyamalan's The Unbreakable and stuff like that. He's great in everything. Yeah. But when people talk about great Samuel L. Jackson parts, no one's ever like, fucking changing lanes, man.
Deep Blue Sea.
He was great in Changing Lanes. Deep Blue Sea. Yeah, it's that era of Samuel L. Jackson, but this is obviously a more grounded movie.
So this movie just keeps building off of that.
So then it's a tete-a-tete back and forth. Like, Ben Affleck screws over Samuel Jackson. He's like, all right, this guy won't give me my thing back. Yeah. I'm going to freeze his credit and declare him bankrupt. He goes to like a hacker guy. And then Samuel Jackson like rips off the copy, finds out that this thing's important to him, says better luck next time, and faxes it to his office. Because
now he's playing with him.
Ben Affleck's bosses said, you got to find that thing. The whole case
by the end of the day
is on this thing.
Yeah.
And then eventually they say, you just forge it.
Yeah, we'll just
forge it.
Like we have it.
Which is a crime.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
But
it's so good.
This movie is a 3. It's absolutely a 3.
First 3 of the month.
Yes, sir. This is
Town got
This is my favorite so far. Yeah.
So for the record, if people are keeping score, if you've seen The Town and like The Town,
this is better than The Town.
Jake likes this better than The Town.
Absolutely.
I knew you. That's why I got you a physical copy of it. I'm like, I feel like this is a movie when someone's gonna see it on Jake's shelf.
Yes.
And then be like, why do you have? What's changed? And then pull out the thing and be like, first of all, it's also in French because I bought you the Canadian copy, so that's weird. And Jake will be like, no. Watch this movie.
Yeah.
It's 92 minutes long.
And there's not a smidgen of fat on this movie.
No, it is lean. It's a katana of a 2002
high octane
thriller.
Is wrong to say, but its pulse is beating, man.
No.
This movie is moving.
Yeah.
And I just like that a big thing that I like is they'll do something that's a big asshole thing to do. And then they, after like 10 minutes or so, they'll be like, gosh darn it, and they'll go back and they'll try and rectify it.
Yeah.
And then that other guy does an asshole thing to them and they get pissed off. And then the other guy's like, gosh darn it, I shouldn't have been like that. So it goes back and they just do it back to back to back. I just like that this movie, nobody was a clear bad guy.
No. It was two people that didn't know how to deal with their issues.
And they were playing with it so well. We'll go back to the speech that Samuel L. Jackson had at his AA meeting where he said, I am the champagne. His wife catches him after he gets to the point where he's running into the school because Ben Affleck called him
calls the school and says he's coming to take his
Yeah.
kids. I think he's going to hurt them.
Yes. And then
calls him and says, "Hey, your kids are sick. You need to come to the school."
Yeah. So-
Horrible, shitty thing to do to
This is the
somebody.
worst thing to do. And so he's running up and down the school screaming for his kids.
Where are my kids?
He gets arrested.
Boys!
His wife comes and
Horrible. Gets arrested in front of his kids.
whoever
Like, that's-
played who was the actress that played his wife?
I will look that up.
She was
I forget her name.
incredible. But they have this moment where she was like, "You're never going to see your kids again. It's not going to happen." And he's like,
I'm taking him to Oregon.
"Can I say goodbye to my kids one more time?" She goes, "No,
Yeah.
no." He's like, "Because you are chaos. It wasn't the alcohol.
That's kind of the thing.
You weren't addicted to that. You are addicted to
the chaos.
the chaos of everything.
Yeah.
the detriment to all."
Kim Staunton plays his wife.
She was incredible.
And the senior partners at the law firm, Sidney Pollack and Richard
Yeah.
Jenkins, they're great too.
Yeah.
It's just like shitty lawyer guys.
Yeah. Oh, he does a great job because
So-
he does a good thing. He's like, "You're my son-in-law, and I love you, and you're doing a great
I'm
job."
gonna-
and
I'm
doing
gonna,
it."
I'm
And
gonna
he's
go
like-
look at a new boat, and then when I buy my new boat, I'm gonna give you my old boat.
And then
Much
Ben
like I
Affleck
gave
comes
Jake
in.
my old chair that he's sitting in now because I got a new chair.
Then Ben Affleck comes back. He's like, "Hey, I think I want to do the right thing." He's like, "Are you fucking
Yeah, we're
stupid?"
not gonna do the right thing. Who the fuck do you think we are?
His turn is so good.
We're lawyers.
They do a part where I felt like I was not gonna like Ben Affleck as Ben Affleck's character because they're like, "Oh yeah, we found out you're cheating on your wife this whole time."
with Toni Collette. She's
And
great too.
Toni Collette's wonderful in this movie, and I was like, that means he's a little bit of a dickhead." But then
You find out his wife sucks.
his wife, she doesn't suck. She's just she's just as in control as Ben Affleck is in the situation.
But she's
i.e.
resigned
she's
herself to be
puppeted by
like,
her father.
hey,
Yeah.
my dad says we need to do
Yeah,
this.
but she's
so-
like, "You like this life, right?"
so we need to break the law to keep doing this
Yes.
stuff.
And then Ben Affleck, he just moments after moments in this movie, he is so incredible.
It's-
The first time he breaks down about what's happening, he cries. He sits down at his desk and he's listening to paralegals trying to become a part of the firm.
Applying for the job.
And he's just sitting there and you just see his eyes well up while
Yeah.
they're just talking. I'm like, "Oh my God."
He's great in this
And he's
movie.
like, "I can't believe I did that to that guy. I can't believe I just left him on the side of the road." And you're like, "This is awesome."
Because he immediately saw the reaction. So what I really like about this movie is what you're saying is the good guy, bad guy thing.
Yeah.
It switches, but it's never like seen as like a big plot twist.
never switches.
It's never like taking off a mask and be like, I was a shithead the whole time. It's,
Nobody's a good guy. Nobody's a bad guy.
No.
We're all just people. And that's a great part where he's talking to his father-in-law, and his father is like, "Yeah, I just try and do more good than bad at the end of the day." And then Ben Affleck finally hears that at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, we're going to turn this in." He's like, "You turn this in, we're going to get in big trouble." He's like, "I don't care." He's like, "We're doing more good than bad." He's like,
Right.
"And I'm staying here and I'm eating the steak because I'm fucking hungry."
So it really reminded
It
me
was
of
one of those pecan pie parts, but
Yeah.
done so much better at changing lanes than reindeer
the
games.
PK buy from
Yeah.
So Trey Parker has this great thing where he's talking to a bunch. I think it was at University of Colorado where he went, or UC Boulder, whatever school he went to. And he's talking to film students, and they're like, "How do you work on writing?" And he said, "Things can't just happen. If things just happen, they're forced. Like there's one event, and then this happens, and because that happened, this happened, and because that happened, this happened. It's not, and then this happened. It's like you have your one incident that starts everything, and because of this, and because of this,
Yeah, a domino effect
That
thing.
This movie is perfect in that.
Yes.
Because Ben Affleck does this, Sam Jackson does this. Because
Yeah.
Ben Affleck does this, and both of their
shows-
starting points of I need to get somewhere.
Yeah.
In this city of 7 million people, my thing's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And then because you felt that, all of this shit happens over the course of a day.
Yeah.
Like at some point, Samuel L.
That-
Jackson's in a bar and he orders a bourbon. And he knows he's not supposed to drink. Calls his sponsor. He says, "I'm in a bar."
great-
and then two
great
guys
moment.
are just being shitheads.
Yeah.
Talking about a Tiger Woods ad that I remember that ad too. And then Samuel L. Jackson just goes off on a thing, and then the
Yeah.
guys come out, start making fun of him, and he rips a payphone out and beats the fuck out of one of
Yeah.
the guys. You're like, yeah. And then you see he's not like my kids are being taken away from me. It's like, no. Maybe your kids should be taken away from you because you've got
It's a little bit like that. Yeah.
And you can't just say, and
that's
what I liked
another-
about that is that could have been written off if he had been in AA and then he got drunk and then he,
Yes.
Ben Affleck drove him to this.
And
It's
he
like, no.
didn't get drunk.
He was in control enough to be
Yes.
sitting at a bar and not drink.
Yeah, he called his sponsor and
But
everything.
then when a guy started making fun of him, he rips a telephone out of the wall and starts beating him
Yeah.
with it. It's like, so you're not in control. It's
Yeah.
not the booze that you. And then his wife calls him on that. I'm like, this movie is so much better than the trailer makes it look, than the packaging
Yes.
makes it look.
Yes.
Then
the
anything.
packaging doesn't tell you what this movie is.
No.
And it's hard to tell you what this movie is.
The packaging of this movie looks like a movie that's a fake movie in another movie.
It felt like, yes. And
That's
it
what the
feels
poster
like
looks like.
Samuel L. Jackson is some type of mastermind that's going to kill
Like Unbreakable
Ben Affleck.
or shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not that.
No, it's just two dudes doing their
beings
best.
having the worst day of their life
On the same day.
and blaming it on each other.
Like a killing,
and keep
like a
coming
killing
to
joke
terms.
situation.
Yeah.
Only it was two people having the worst day, and both of them are the Joker, and they're both Batman, and they're both trying to figure it out at the same time.
Come to the end.
And they're just done. They're just done.
They're both, yeah, because Samuel L. Jackson breaks into his law firm and just sits in his office.
After Ben Affleck sets the place on fire, and then it's there's all the sprinklers, and it has to get done, and then they're back in it by the end of the day.
Yeah.
The bar we used to work at, we had the fire alarm go off because there was I don't know if you were working there then.
I don't think so.
But the women's bathroom, the fan fucked up, and they had to come in and spray the whole thing down because there was like a little electrical fire. Nothing bad, but like they had to spray it down. We couldn't use that thing for 3 weeks. This is an office with a bunch of paper and everything, and he's back in there 2 hours later after it gets sprayed out. I'm like, that's the as much as I appreciate the realism of the middle school band, the sprinkler system is just anarchy.
They're never going to get the sprinkler system thing correct.
No.
Because that's not cinema at all.
No.
It is not a cool thing when those sprinklers go off. They are torrents.
Have you ever been when an Ansel system in a kitchen goes off?
No, I've seen videos, of course.
Yeah, I've never seen the Ansel system, but I have pulled out the fire extinguisher to put out a fire so the Ansel system didn't go off. Because the Ansel system, once that goes off, you can't cook
work
for like a week.
No.
Because you got to reset the whole thing. But I have grabbed the fire extinguisher and be like, grill's on fire. Could throw it off until that
So
happens.
Samuel L. Jackson breaks in to his place, and they finally have their heart-to-heart.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck's way of rectifying it, his apology, is he got his bankruptcy revoked that he put onto him, and he got his application for his house renewed, for his loan renewed, and he's going to be his lawyer. And
he offers to co-sign for the house too. Like
Yes.
he goes to the office. He's like, "What does he need to? I need this done today."
And Samuel L. Jackson just says, I'm going to see my kids again.
2 years, maybe.
Yeah, maybe 3, maybe 4. And it just, that's the type of ending that I am so in love with, where two people just have a terrible day, where they are subject to and the reason for the worst thing to happen to each other.
Right.
And both of them are like, what did we learn from today, and how are we going to grow from it?
It's
to be
two
a better
self-destructive
person?
people working simultaneously against each other.
You realize, I love Amanda Peet in this movie.
She's
a
great.
lot.
Yeah.
She is great.
I love. There's one scene with Amanda Peet's mom where the mom's just the put upon wife when Ben Affleck and the father-in-law are having an argument at dinner, and she's just like, "I think I'll get the fish."
Yeah.
You're just like, I love that character.
I think I'll get the snapper.
Yeah. But yeah,
yeah,
Amanda
red snapper
Peet's
is
good
delicious.
too.
But
When
Amanda
Amanda
Peet's
Peet has the whole
wonderful.
thing, it's like I didn't care about the
When
affair
she
you had.
called, I was like, because she just gives a call and she's like, "Hey, I can meet you in 10 minutes to have a lunch."
Yeah.
And then I thought it was just going to be like a side type thing, but as soon as she started talking, I was like, "Oh, she's working her angle on this to get this thing done. She doesn't want to lose the money. She doesn't want to lose Ben."
Yeah.
And I was like, Gavin. His name's Gavin in this movie.
Yeah.
See, that doesn't happen to me unless I really love this movie. I remembered some names, but the performances were amazing.
Yeah.
The ending was incredible. And I just walked away being like, I am so happy I watched this movie.
It's a good movie.
It made me feel so much better.
Good movie to sit down and watch. I agree.
I do love when Sam L. Jackson's getting hauled away in a cop car. Ben Affleck's outside on the payphone, and he sees the car going away, and he's like, "Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get. That's right."
Screaming to no one.
And then immediately feels bad about what he did.
Yeah.
That's people, baby.
So
That's how people act.
So that's a 3. I like that for a 3 for week 3 of All Affleck April. I was
Yeah,
looking
boy.
up the letterboxd for this, and a lot of are kind of what we were talking about. Just like it's better than you think it should be.
Yeah,
like
at the very least, it's a more interesting movie than you think.
it's worth a watch. It's 90 minutes.
Absolutely worth the watch.
One weird letterbox review, 2.5 stars. Hopped off the plane into my parents' house where I'm watching random movies on cable. Movies where I go, have I never heard of this movie? Then I watch the movie. Yeah. ... That's it. The username on that
Yeah.
is Io Adebari,
Yeah.
but
Ayo
it's the
Adebiri.
only review with that name.
Really?
So I think either someone wanted to start a fake account for her because the review was in.
I'm pretty sure that
2000
she's active on Letterboxd.
It's the
isn't
only
she?
review for this account.
So I'm thinking that that's a fake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
Because I'm
then
pretty sure that
it's-
I remember her being active on it.
That's what I'm thinking. But it's weird to start a fake account and then
on Changing Lanes.
make one review of Chasing Lanes and have a review that's not like AI generated. Like this, yeah, that's a fair review of this movie. It's like, I've never heard of this before. I watched it. Yeah. That's a valid review of this movie. So if I ever meet...
That's not a review. That's an acknowledgement.
Yes, but also valid. I feel like some people will watch this movie and go, yeah,
I don't think so.
yeah,
I think if you're not paying attention to it, you might.
yeah.
I think this movie is better than average because there's interesting things happening the whole time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a weird fan account to only...
It's really weird.
Because it's not even a movie she's in. This movie came out way before she was famous.
Yeah.
It's very strange. I really hope it's her. And she forgot, like, she's like, I got to do a letterbox.
She
And then
forgot the password
reviewed this.
for it.
Yeah. And then she forgot the email address. And she's like, fuck it. I'll just start a new
Yeah.
one. I don't have that cell phone anymore that they sent the one-time password recovery to. So, yeah, there's just this random letterbox. All right. Changing Lanes. Fucking rules. Let's talk
Changing
about
Lanes rules.
Blueprints.
Blueprints, baby. Yeah. He
Go.
closed
Talk.
his...
My laptop. I don't need
Laptop.
it. I don't need it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Talk. I wanted to play Blueprints.
Why did you recommend this to me?
Because all the reviews that I have seen
Stellar.
have been like this game is on the echelon of Outer Wilds and Obra Dinn. Two
more
games that we both really like. I love both of those
I think I
movies.
gave Oberdin was one of my lower ranked games that you recommended.
I love Obra Dinn.
I know you do.
I love Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds I loved.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so if any game, if they want to use those games in comparison to another game and say it's very similar to this type,
I'd say it's closer to I can see so
I see
the whole
Obra
point of the
Dinn-
game is you're a boy. You're a boy Simon. Your great granduncle.
Yeah.
Or no, just granduncle.
Yeah.
Yeah, granduncle died. And he has this magic house. And he's like, you get the house, but here's the rule. There's 45 rooms in this house. You got to find the 46th room. And the house changes every day. So you got to go in there. You got to find your way to the 46th room. There's no one else in here but you. It's a puzzle game. You're walking through. It has a roguelike element because you can only, going into a room cost you a step. You start out with 50 steps a day. There are ways you can recover steps by eating stuff, going into room bonuses. And so the rooms, when you go to it, you have to draft the blueprint. And just like you would draft from like a card game,
Yeah.
you have different random rooms that you can build, and they have different paths, and you got to snake your way to the top where the antechamber is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's basically the game.
Uh-huh.
Puzzle elements. There's two main puzzle rooms that you go into.
Billiard room,
The billiard room,
which is math puzzle,
And
parlor room, which is
logic puzzle.
Yeah.
Hallways, other things. Then you have like puzzles with like the pump room, the steam room, yada yada yada. All the rooms are different.
Yeah. It's a puzzle game through and through.
So Jake and I both looked at our PlayStation network. First of all, this game's on PlayStation Plus. I will say this: game is a hard 3.
Absolutely.
If you have PlayStation Plus, you can download it for free. Do that now before they realize that they need to start charging people for this game. Because if this had,
I paid for it, so it's on that PlayStation Extra or something.
Oh, I have the highest tier.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it was free for me.
So it's on the highest tier.
It's when you pay $55.
It's
a
free
year.
for me. I pay $55 a month for it.
I pay $55 a year.
You
so
like
I
the
can-
AC in here?
No,
It's
no.
free. I pay $55 a month.
I was
for
gonna
it.
make a joke about how I drive on the highway, so now I get to play video games for free. But so I would have paid for this game, like whatever it costs,
Yeah,
like $30,
I
something
paid-
like that.
Well, it was 10% off when I got it, so $27.
Sure,
But
worth it.
Absolutely.
worth it.
Well worth it.
I texted my dad about this. My dad has very specific taste in video games, which is mostly just video games made before 1997.
Lara Croft, Tomb Raider.
No. His favorite video game of all time, to my knowledge, is the
Alone
original
in the Dark.
the original Dark Forces, but you have to be able to play it with a joystick because he doesn't like controllers.
Yeah.
That goes back to him.
Dark Forces. The first one.
The first one, Doom
Good one.
The Doom looking one.
Yeah.
But one game that I remember when he got a new Gateway computer.
Why isn't Kyle Katarn? We already talked about
We already talked about it. We don't have time.
That Slave 1 ship, though. I want that bad.
Oh yeah,
Big time.
the Lego. It's not Slave 1. Can't say Slave 1. It's
the Fett family.
The Fett family ship. I don't like how it's an amalgam of like the two paint jobs.
Remember with Bob and David, where they're making a slave movie, but you can't say slaves, so they call them helpers.
Yeah.
it's the helper.
Regardless, the paint job is off on that Lego thing.
It's Jango Fett's.
No, but it's not fully Jango Fett's. It's got some of the yellow and green. It's not just the blue.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks great.
It's halfway in between. Whatever. Regardless, we're talking about this video game.
Yeah, your dad.
So when he got a new computer, one of the first games he got for it was Myst.
Yeah.
And Myst was a point and click. This is new Myst.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more like Myst than I think it is Outer Wilds. I'm not going to. It's like Oberdin in the fact that there's a mechanic and it does that one mechanic really well.
It's like Outer Wilds where it doesn't tell you anything.
The mystery unfolds a lot better.
Yes.
I
Go in
like,
knowing nothing and then just building up your knowledge. That's a big reward for this game.
I didn't like the mystery in Oberdin because Oberdin, if people don't know, you're an insurance adjuster and you go to the ship and you have this turntable or time turner thing.
Compass.
And you could like turn back time and
you go to the instant of their death.
Of people's deaths. And you have to find out what happened on this ship, and there's a Kraken and there's mutinies and all sorts of stuff, which was fine, but finding out the mystery in that, I never really cared. Ooh. So I got to the point where I got the mechanic, and by that point I was just like, all right, well now I just have to do this, then I have to do that, blah, 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 blah. Didn't really care. Outer Wilds, loved the mystery in that because you're just finding out more and more, and I think it expands in a better way than Oberdin is. This game, with the roguelike element, because if you run out of steps or you run out of places where you can make rooms, you rest, and then you come back the next morning at 8 o'clock, specifically at 8 o'clock. I learned that because there are time puzzles too. And you have to start again, and the rooms are different. Like the draws that you're going to get, it's all different, but you have the same goal. Some things that happen outside of the mansion stay the same. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
I was about... Well, now that we played 16 hours, I know. I would say I was about 2 hours into this game when I had my first big breakthrough discovery.
Yeah.
And from that point forward, I was just hooked. Every puzzle in this game so far feels earned. It's fun to figure out. You have the recurring puzzles where the dartboard puzzle and the box puzzle that are just logic, but they get progressively harder.
Yeah.
To the point where you're like squaring numbers and shit like that, and you're just like, oh, what the like? Okay, so how many
rooting numbers?
How many rooms are you in, or how many runs have you done?
I think I'm on 30.
30. I right before you came here, you came over at 3. Right before I finished my 26th run.
Yeah,
and I have something to show you.
You did it
right before you came here. I got to room 46.
Hey.
I can tell why you haven't because I have. So I have one of the things Jake told me, and one of the things they tell you about this game is take notes.
Yeah.
You can't see it. I had sent Jake a picture when it was smaller, and I blurred it because I didn't want to give him any spoilers. I have a Pepe Sylvia level notebook.
Oh yeah.
Where I don't know what this means. Figuring this out. Bunch of obscenities written on there. Weird doodles, things like that. I have pictures on my phone where I take screenshots of scraps and stuff like that. I more so than Outer Wilds, because Outer Wilds, a sun's about to blow up and you're a little spaceman and you got to go to different planets and try to stop the sun from blowing up. And that starts, but everything is the exact same every day. This, I think, is... I don't know if I like it more than Outer Wilds because I like the gameplay of Outer Wilds more because you get to fly the little spaceship and do stuff like that.
Going to new planets is awesome.
And just the physics in Outer Wilds is great. This game doesn't rely on the physics. You can't jump. You can't do anything else. No. It's a straightforward puzzle game.
It's a walking simulator.
The way that it has the roguelike element where the rooms change every day, that hits me more a game like classic roguelike, like your Hades or something like that, where you're like, all right, now you got to get back in. And then you're like, all right, I got to get here.
Tomorrow's going to be a better day.
And then you go to a place, like spoilers, you get down to like the pool, and you're like, I think something's at the bottom of the pool. And then you go to a pump room, and you're like, I can drain the pool. And then you're like, shit, I got to get the pump room. And then the pump room doesn't show up that day. And you're like, God damn it, I got to go back in, I got to get the pump room, and then I got to drain the pool.
Yeah.
It's incredible. The gameplay in this is incredible.
Yeah. You're rewarded for your meticulous
note taking
and your observations.
And so
if you're curious about something, if it's going to work, it probably will, and you'll get a little more insight.
And nothing's cheap. So there was a point in Riven, the sequel to Myst. And if anyone's played that game, they'll know what I'm talking about. There's a way where you got to do mine carts and you got to like send them on different tracks. But it's famously unintuitive how to solve that puzzle. To the point where my dad bought a player's guide that was as thick as the fucking dictionary because Riven was 5 discs and you have to jump back and forth between the discs. And that was the only way we could figure out the puzzle. I was a child. He was a grown man. One of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. The puzzle was very unintuitive. Some of these puzzles I'm just like, what is happening? So like there's a specific thing where there's a safe and you pick up a little note. And this is early on in the game, so this isn't spoilers. And I found a safe, and I'm like, I don't know what the code is. And then I went to a different room, and it says, here's the code. It says safe code this. And I type it in. I'm like, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll type it in again. That doesn't work. And then I'm like, fuck. All right, well, it must be a different safe. And I have that written down. This is what the safe code is. If you find a safe, this is the safe. I go and I put that number in anywhere I fucking can. Anywhere there's 4 digits where you can put in a number, I put that in. Doesn't work anywhere. Until you get to another note that just says, green notes are true, red notes are lies. And then I'm like, was that note red?
Blue notes are true.
Blue notes are true, whatever. And then I'm just like, and then I found it again. I was like, it's a red fucking, no.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that was a lie until I went back and.
Before we go forward, I want to tell you they voted for the least intuitive puzzle in a video game.
Yeah.
A while ago. I remember it because this is very funny. There's a point-and-click adventure game called Broken Sword. I think it was the 5th one. I can't remember. But there's a place.
Like a Monkey Island type thing?
Yeah, a little bit like that. There's a place that you have to get into, and you have to puzzle your way to get it. You're never going to guess, so I'm just going to tell you. What you have to do is you have to take a piece of tape, and you put it on a cat, and then you rip the hair off, and then you put the hairy tape onto your upper lip and wear it like a mustache. And you're able to, hello, I am a new person. Allow me in, please.
This game has none of that. All of the puzzles in this are great. But what I said is, so I got to that last room, credits rolled. So for all intents and purposes, I've beaten the game. I have so many notes and things that I don't have the answers to anymore. Yeah. So like when I beat over...
There's a mystery that's going on around it that I got so much information about that is now my goal.
Yes.
And I got my ending. I didn't roll credits yet, but I found a letter from
Granduncle
Herbert.
Yeah.
Unky Herb.
Yeah.
And that note is so sweet and well written.
Oh, yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
I was like, reading that, I was like, this is it. Like, I got my ending. Now I just want to solve all the puzzles here.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
What?
It's not there. I'm just saying, neither of us are done.
Yeah, none of us are done.
There's something with a chessboard. I don't know what the fucking chess pieces mean.
I've seen those chess pieces.
I don't know what the chess... And here's the thing. You go through this room. I was in like 10 runs deep, got to the antechamber, and I texted Jake. I was like, it was like run 10. Got to the antechamber. I'm like, done. I had all my keys because you get like keys and gems and shit like that. I had a silver key. Silver key always gets you a cool room. And I'm like, oh, look, fucking aquarium that goes straight across. I'm going to be right there. You get to the antechamber, brick fucking wall.
Yeah. When you sent me that, I was like, I am so much ahead of him.
Yeah.
Because I've done that 2 to 3 times.
Yeah.
And then next day you were like, have you seen this thing? Have you seen this thing? I was like, oh, I do not think so.
The rumpus room? Have you found
I think I found the rumpus room.
You found the rumpus room?
That's with the
fortune teller.
The fortune teller? Yeah,
the Zoltan.
I've talked to him 3 times.
Have you ever heard anyone use the term rumpus room?
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out where it's from dialect-wise.
Rumpus.
Well, no. But calling... so a rumpus room is like a playroom. A kid's room, a games room, some people call it. Well, down south, we call it a playroom. I think it's a northern thing to call it a rumpus room.
I think it's a southern thing,
really?
Honestly.
I had a playroom.
A rumpus room.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a... Yeah, I feel like it's a southern thing.
My friend Matt's mom
Florida
would always call
never counts in South.
That's fair. It might not be a Florida thing. It was a gator room.
You're playing in the gator room.
I think all of Florida is one big rumpus room. If you want to know the truth.
How are you supposed to understand?
It's America's rumpus room. Regardless, but yeah, it's so fun. There's observatories. The puzzles are fun. The puzzles are neat.
The music is great.
Well done. The music is on par with Outer Wilds.
That is some vibes going on.
Actually, no, Outer Wilds has better music.
The garage music, when you open up the garage door, that music's some of my favorite music.
You got in the garage with the car keys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Well, not with the car keys. I didn't go out with the car keys.
No, but you open up the garage door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you turn on the power.
Yeah.
To open the garage door.
Yeah. God damn it, this game. But I'm going to have to spend more time in this game because I have, like, unlike Oberdin, I have legit questions that I want answered.
Okay.
And also, like, with Outer Wilds, I felt like I solved some things accidentally.
Oberdin's kind of like the anti this game.
Because it's just one thing.
Well, the game itself, the protagonist of Oberdin's not interested
No.
in anything
I was not
other
interested.
than how to
an
price everything.
An insurance guy.
That's why it's one of the coolest endings I've ever seen in a video game.
Yeah.
Where he just, I don't want to spoil it, but
I
that's
think we spoiled it when we talked about it.
maybe, but I love that ending. It just tells me exactly who this guy is,
Yeah.
what the story is, what this world is. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
This game is more like, I'm learning so much about Marion Marigold, and I'm like,
I've read 2 of her books.
I've read 2 of her books, and they're really nice.
Red and Blue?
I've read Swimbird,
Swimbird,
and
Blue.
Red Prince.
Red Prince, yeah. I think that's the only 2. But again, I
No,
don't
she
know.
wrote another book.
Fuck!
You don't have it? I haven't read it yet.
No,
but
I've read...
Yeah, she wrote another book.
God damn it. And it takes place in like this weird world. It's like, it's realistic, but it's alternate.
Yeah, it's like an alternate history.
Weirdly
type thing.
40s-ish,
There's like
I would say.
kingdoms.
Like 1940s.
Oh, it's 1980. No, it's 1993. The game is 1995.
There was a show called Kings that was out for 1 season. Did you ever see Kings? It was
do you
1
think I know?
season, and it was like an alternate reality, but it was set in the modern day. But there were still like
this
kingdoms.
does
and shit.
sound familiar.
I want to say Ian McShane was one of the kings.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah,
no, I didn't watch it.
It was 1 season. It was one of those things that I saw it. It was good. I think I torrented it. It was fine. I think I want to say it had OC in it. What's his name? The OC.
OC.
The OC.
I don't know.
The main OC guy.
I don't know.
Not Brody.
Josh Hartnett.
Nope, not Brody.
He's
from
Josh
the
Hartnett's
OC.
not Brody.
Not Adam Brody. The other guy from the OC.
Oh, I have no clue.
I want to say the OC was in it.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. Regardless, it's kind of like that where they're like, it's modern times, but it's like they're kingdoms still.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I don't know. It's fucking great. Yeah, I can't recommend this game enough.
this game's great.
I would not have played this without you.
Yeah, boy, I got your back, buddy.
Game of the year.
Huh?
I don't know if it's my front runner.
I mean, Split Fiction was pretty amazing.
And I think Split Fiction was fun because I played it with you.
That's true.
I feel like there's,
But I think that's the
there's an
trick to
alternate
Split
world where I
Fiction.
played Split Fiction with someone that I didn't have as much fun with.
Yeah.
And that's why I liked Helldivers initially too, because Helldivers I played with you and some other friends that we all joined in, and that's why Helldivers was Game of the Year. But then I played Astrobot, and Astrobot ended up being Game of the Year last year. And I don't know. I think the more I get into this, it might take over Split Fiction.
Maybe.
But Split Fiction just knocked me on my ass for like, this is game making. This is incredible.
Yeah.
I haven't played anything like this before, and it could have been because I hadn't played any of his
Blueprints has
other games.
Been so insidious
Yeah.
to me.
And the pacing
Because when
is
I started, I felt
good.
like I was bored.
Pacing is so good.
learning all this stuff until it finally.
I hated my first
started
2
getting
runs.
hooked.
Hated my first 2 runs.
Yeah.
I hated
Eventually,
the-
it gets
but
its
to be
hooks in
fair,
you, and you're
I-
like, bam. It starts telling you, just go up the wings. You know, if you just go up the wings, you'll start seeing some more stuff. That's when I started
Yeah,
seeing more
except-
stuff, and I was like, I want to see that thing.
And then
again.
you realize there's a note that says, "Oh, there's more likely to be locked doors in the West Wing." And then you realize that's a red note, fucking too.
Yeah.
You piece of shit!
Man,
Stop
I-
leaving
I
these red
found
notes
those-
around.
I found that note quick that told me that red.
No,
I think I
because
think
that's
I
in like
found-
the conference room or something. I
No,
didn't
that's in
get-
the security room, and I
Is it?
found that like quick.
I don't know.
Yeah, because
Well, I found it after I realized you really have to pay attention to everything that's in every room.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, I have some theories I want to talk to you about after the fact, but yeah, we can do that off mic. But yeah, 100%. I would not have played this game had it not been for you. That falls into that category. Split Fiction, I would not have played without you. Astrobot, Helldivers, I probably wouldn't have played without you.
Yeah.
And Balatro wouldn't have played.
Yeah.
And I still love Balatro too. I still
yeah.
play Balatro.
Yeah, man.
And Stardew. So like, God damn it,
man.
dude, you've got a pretty solid track record of recommended games.
I'm good at games, man.
Max Payne, I didn't love.
That's fine. That's for
Half-Life 2.
the
take it-
auteurs of the world.
Half-Life 2, take it or leave it.
Half-Life 2 is very important game.
I understand it's an important game, but I've played so many games like
This is
that
so
since.
fun. I want to be a professor of video games.
You could, except
Right? I could.
No.
The problem is
you would get so
too white trash.
angry with your students.
No, never. No. What's to be angry about?
Max Payne sucks, and that guy's obnoxious.
Max Payne doesn't suck.
See?
And that guy is not obnoxious. That guy died for his performance. Do you understand me?
No, I'm talking about the guy that created Max Payne and Control and Alan Wake.
If you're trying to
Real life
at,
Alan Wake.
you yourself love Max Payne.
What's his name? Sam Rakes?
You're laughing. I'm laughing too because we're having fun.
Jimmy Rakes is
We're
what's his
having
name?
fun.
That weird Swede that made all those crappy
Suits, you
games.
sit your fucking ass down.
Thanks, Professor.
I will tell you his goddamn name.
Oh, we have fun. All right, yeah, but go out. Everyone should go out and fucking play this game.
Yes,
It's
please.
great.
Watch
Great.
Changing Lanes.
Watch Changing Lanes. It's a
Play
double
Blueprints.
3 episode.
Yep, it's a good
and again,
episode.
Blueprints. BLUPRINCE. Love a pun.
Yes, you
Big
do.
fan of a pun.
Now when I see puns, I used to groan and be like, pun. But now I'm like, I think Taylor would really like that.
It's a double pun thing too, because changing lanes. Well, changing lanes is kind of a pun because it's a road rage thing. Then you from changing lanes was the accident, but changing lanes also caused them to change their personalities. So they changed lanes on the road of life
I
as
don't know
well.
what a pun is.
It's a double entendre. More. Regardless, wordplay is fun.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, thank you everybody for listening. Thank you to our buddies Brother Bill for letting us use their theme song. Again, you can check them out, bandcamp.com/Brother Bill. You can get in touch with the show, upyouralleypod@gmail.com. Yeah, let's figure out what we're going to be getting into next week. Jacob, what you got for me?
Do you remember the show Ninja Warrior?
Yeah.
Did you remember how awesome it was?
Yeah, that was a game where I feel like it was written over by the Americans. Like I've seen the
Yes.
dubbed over one. I don't think I've seen the original one.
Oh, you're thinking of Most Extreme Elimination.
Yep. Yes, I am.
The other one
Ninja Warrior
show is
obstacle
based
course.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the obstacle course.
Yeah. That's the people that are actually trying.
You remember how how awesome skateboarding is?
Yeah,
Skateboarding is great.
sure is.
What if they combined the two in a very fun show called Kasso? Kasso.
Is this a
They
Japanese thing?
bring skateboarders from around the world, i.e. Japan and America, and they come to fight the 3 obstacle courses laid out in front of them to win 1 million yen.
Which is $27.
I think it is about $100,000.
So wait, is this a real thing?
Yes, Kasso, Kasso.
Where am I watching this?
It's on YouTube. I started at the second one. The third one just came out. Episodes 4 and 5, it's called.
Okay.
It's just on YouTube. It's Kasso.
KASSO.
Yeah, Kasso.
Okay.
And it's awesome.
Huh.
It's back to how much fun Ninja Warrior is, where you just
skateboarding. Huh?
They set out, with skateboarders. They set out this
Is it
ridiculous looking obstacle course.
Made in Japan?
Yeah.
Huh.
So you're gonna have to read, but it's fine.
Do they make fun of rollerbladers?
There's rollerplayers that watch, that are cameramen. They do a great job.
Oh, that's actually kind of smart.
Yeah, and
Did you, speaking of cameramen, I'm going to definitely check this out. Did you watch any of that show, Adolescence?
no,
Real good. And also the new season of Black Mirror is out. I've watched the first episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah.
It's top shelf. Rashida Jones and that guy who's the most British looking guy in the world that they always get to play British people.
Paul Giamatti,
No, he was in IT Crowd. I forget his name, but he's the most British looking man in the world.
Richard Ayoade,
No. Definitely not the most British looking dude in the world, but he's the other guy in
Chris
IT Crowd.
O'Donnell.
Yeah.
That's an Irishman.
Regardless, British looking man. From an American. He looks super British.
His name's O'Donnell.
I don't think it's O'Donnell.
O'Dowd.
O'Dowd.
Chris
There it is.
O'Dowd.
Chris O'Donnell was Robin. That's the only reason I know that.
The most Irish Robin we've had.
Probably. But anyway, so what was that show?
Adolescence. You were talking about?
It's all done in oneers. It's 4 episodes that are all oneers.
Yeah.
And it's like legit. It's not like Birdman where they do it. And like there were some of the shots that I'm like, oh, what the fuck is this? But then they, like I've been seeing some behind the scenes of how they do it because like the second episode ends with like a big shot to a parking lot and then it just like goes up to a drone shot. And I was like, has it been a drone this whole time? But you see guys like on rollerblades and stuff like that are like being pushed. So like the guy on rollerblades is staying steady, but someone's behind him like running. So it like turns him into a little dolly and then it hooks into a drone and then it lifts up into the sky and the camera just goes away.
Oh, that's cute.
So like the behind the scenes of the show, like the show's fine. It's a lot of like weird incel stuff and like
Yeah,
murder
everybody's
and-
talking about that. It's like,
yeah, whatever.
kids.
Like I'm just like, yeah, the show's fine, but like this filmmaking behind the scenes is fascinating. So yeah, guys on
Seriously, worry
rollerblades doing
about
camera work, like
Don't
love
worry
it.
about your boys, though. Check in on your boys.
Yeah,
Get them some hobbies. Get interested in those.
make them play blueprints.
Make them play blueprints. Play them
Watch
together.
Watch Changing Lanes.
You could watch Changing Lanes. You could talk about how much you were there when Changing Lanes was being made.
Get a Google Drive where you all share and keep adding random blueprints notes and try to solve the mystery together with your boys. And scream chicken jockey and throw... I guess that's the other end of the spectrum.
Throw chicken jockey.
For how men are going to act. It's either adolescents or chicken jockey. Those are our two choices for the youth of today. So you got to pick. But yeah, okay, so Casso on YouTube. Skateboarding Motion Cheats. Jacob.
Yeah.
Last week of All Affleck April.
That's the last one, huh?
Yeah. Oh, shit.
That's the dog.
It sure is. Yeah. Oh, God. He's
happy.
excited. We've got stuff coming up for Easter. Oh, Easter is this week.
How Easter?
How Easter. Oh, and tax day was last week. Did you pay your taxes?
Reluctantly so, yes.
Yeah.
I had
If
to
only
pay so
there
much
was
more.
something I could do for All Affleck April.
About taxes?
That something goes into tax day.
Oh. Is this one
If
movie?
only there's something I could do for that. I feel like there is.
I feel like there is.
I feel like on Amazon Prime, you are going to watch The Accountant.
Okay.
It's time for you to watch it. It worked out so well.
The Accountant.
Because as much as you like the Statham movies,
Yeah.
this is Ben Affleck's Jason Statham movie.
This is big words. This is big words
Jacob?
coming from you.
Here's how sure I am that you're going to love The Accountant.
Oh, this is exciting.
And to use gambling parlance, I am going to double down on this.
Yeah.
If you'll remember at the beginning of All Affleck April, I told you to leave next Thursday free.
Yeah.
Next Thursday at 4 o'clock, I have tickets for us to see an early showing of The Accountant 2.
Yes, sir.
So you're going to watch The Accountant. Next Thursday, I'm going to pick you up from your house. I'm going to take you to Bar Louie. I'm going to buy you a beer. Then we're going to go see The Accountant 2.
Okay.
Go to your house and record an Accountant double feature episode.
Wow.
For
That's
a
a big
grand
episode.
finale of All Affleck April.
All right. I'd have to say that the trailer makes it look pretty stupid.
Well, trailer for The Beekeeper made it look pretty stupid
But
too.
again, but I expect that from a Jason
And
Statham
also,
movie like that.
some would say the trailer for Changing Lanes made that look pretty stupid as well.
Oh, very good point.
This is
Very
my
good point.
coup de grace for
Wow.
All Affleck April.
Okay. I'm excited.
Early showing. So next week will be Casso. It'll be the conclusion of All Affleck April with The Accountant and a review, legit movie review the day it comes out
Yeah.
of The Accountant 2.
Wow.
Recorded just like we did for that Jason Statham movie, right from the movie theater, right to Jake's house. Gonna record.
Okay.
It's gonna be fucking gangbusters next week. So yeah, thank you everybody for listening. Jake, thanks for coming over. Love you, bud.
Love you, buddy.
Bye.